Hi, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Work in Progress, a conversation series hosted by myself, Julian Lute, and Ed Fraunheim on behalf of Great Place to Work.
Work in Progress is designed for working professionals. Whether you're a people leader or an individual contributor, we want to keep it real and help you thrive. We're focused on the stories and experiences of people during this tumultuous time, a time defined by the two viruses, COVID-19 and what we call Racism 20. This week, we're excited to focus on the topic of how to create a great workplace experience for millennials amid the pandemic and its economic impacts, as well as the racial reckoning underway.
Today, we're joined by our colleague, Content Marketing Manager Claire Hastwell, as well as by Nellie Peshkov, VP of People and Culture at Reddit, an online network of communities that brings almost 430 million people together to make connections and have authentic discussions around topics that are important to them. Reddit recently ranked 20th on our list of the best workplaces for millennials in the small and medium-sized category. Now, Claire, you're a millennial, and you recently wrote about the best workplaces for millennials. Can you tell us some key factors that help organizations build great cultures for the millennial generation?
Sure. What makes work great for millennials? Well, there were two things that stood out to me that really resonated with me from our research. One was that what millennials want from leaders and people managers is very different from what other generations want from leaders. So for example, where Generation X want more of a role model, millennials want more of a coach. And they also described their leaders as being special when they had stood up for them in critical moments in their personal lives. So not critical moments at work, but outside of work. And the second thing that really resonated with me is that millennials really want 3D diversity. So not just diversity in terms of race and ethnicity and gender, but also diversity of thought or lifestyle or knowledge. And I think this is what Reddit does really well. They've created this culture that really allows 3D diversity to thrive.
Thank you, Claire. Well, keeping the focus on Reddit, we know you wrote about them in a recent article. We'd invite you to now pose some questions to Nellie about Reddit and their culture.
Good. So Nellie, when I was looking at the survey responses from Reddit, which is the same survey that helps us define the best workplaces for millennials, I noticed some really strong things coming through in the comments when they had to answer the question, what makes Reddit a great place to work? Phrases and words like everyone is encouraged to be themselves, Reddit values people who are different. You can be your quirky, weird individual self, and there's an effort to make everyone feel like they belong. So I felt like these comments really spoke strongly to a sense of belonging. Can you tell me a bit about how Reddit creates this sense of belonging and how does belonging affect you in the workplace?
First, I have to share that people that join Reddit as employees are deeply passionate about our mission. And I think it speaks to who we attract and then retain at Reddit. So our mission is to bring that sense of community and belonging to everyone in the world. And that means internally within Reddit, we need to have a platform, a culture, a space where everyone does feel like they belong and are united just by that one mission. And that also means that we as a company and our culture is inclusive of all the different perspectives and all the different experiences and walks in life and backgrounds and thoughts and ideas, because to truly build that kind of platform where everyone can find a home and everyone can find a sense of belonging, we need to represent the diversity of perspective and thoughts. And that's who we look for to join Reddit, and that's who thrives at Reddit. So internally, we're that same community that we are building externally, where everyone can have a voice and can find a space, a place, and an opportunity to do great work and offer a perspective.
Our research also tells us that involving employees in decisions that impact them creates a sense of belonging, especially among millennials. So can you tell me a bit about how Reddit seeks ideas and involves employees in decisions at the company?
Yeah, we're a very conversational company, and we use a number of forums to engage our employees in conversation. So one, we have a weekly all hands meeting where every employee dials in. It is facilitated, moderated by Steve Huffman, our CEO. And prior to that meeting, our employees submit questions and provide, again, thoughts, ideas, perspective, even feedback on our internal subreddit that we use to facilitate those conversations. And then during the all hands meeting, we go through that Q&A and answer the questions that our employees pose or respond to the feedback or ideas, recommendations. Internally, we also use Slack, again, very conversational. Our employees engage in very authentic conversations on Slack. We have a number of groups that have been created, kind of group common conversations together. And as an executive team and all of our employees, we are very present in those forums and we engage in those discussions. Sometimes they turn into debates. Sometimes, again, it's ideas, suggestions, or just simply conversations that are supportive and encouraging and fun. And all of these forums and ways in which we organically and continuously engage in discussions, I think demonstrate our value that is very important to us, which is default open. And I think we live our value all the time by defaulting open with all of our employees about all the business decisions, all the factors that we take into consideration when we make business decisions. And in turn, our employees are then very open with their feedback and their suggestions and candid in their discussion, which allows us to live our value, but also allows us to then execute on our mission in a very effective way when there's no surprises, no secrets, because everything is very transparent and engaging.
I love that. So it sounds like the culture reflects the website having this openness and transparency and discussion. That's really cool. Mm-hmm. My next question for you was about employee resource groups, or ERGs, but I think you call them ERGs. Is that right at Reddit?
Employee resource and interest groups.
Right. Okay. So can you give us a quick overview of Reddit's employee resource and interest groups and what makes them unique?
We have several. In fact, I think we have 9 employee resource groups, and that doesn't include interest groups, which have been formed by our employees around many different interests. But our employee resource groups specifically has been created by our employees for our employees. They come together to support one another, whether it's personal discussions, professional development, talk about their experiences, about what's happening outside of Reddit or inside Reddit. And what makes our employee resource groups really unique and special is that ERGs are key partner to the people and culture team in shaping our diversity, inclusion, and belonging strategy and helping us execute on our goals. But in addition to that, our ERG members, employees who are part of those groups, also feel confident and comfortable providing a point of view and a voice and perspective as we build our product. And again, for us to execute on our mission, we need to make sure that our product is built with that in mind, and creating that sense of community and belonging for everyone, and having employees that have had and continue to have different experiences in life outside of Reddit and inside Reddit is really helpful in shaping our product decisions and our policies as a company. So I thoroughly enjoy and value and appreciate all of our employee resource groups.
Can you give me some examples of how Reddit uses the employee resource groups to inform business decisions at Reddit?
Of course. What comes to mind is probably our more recent experiences when the Black Lives Matter movement started in reaction to such senseless and terrible murders and acts of misjustice have happened. We partnered closely with our employee resource groups in accelerating the execution of our diversity, inclusion, and belonging strategy And to be more specific, something that we've had on our roadmap is to create a list of allyship resources that all of our rated employees and all the allies could invest in to educate themselves, to raise their awareness, understanding, especially about race relations and the history and the current experience of Black and African American people in the United States. So in partnering with our Black people at Rated and all of our employee resource groups, we quickly pulled the allyship resources together and launched them to our company. Another example is also around that time, our Black people at Rated employee resource groups have invested a lot of effort and put their time in creating Ask Me Anything series with prominent and amazing people who can, who would tell the story about those experiences and their impact and their footprint in the United States, on our society, on our culture. And we, through the actually passion and the efforts of our Black people at Rated group, we also created Juneteenth as a holiday for Rated and came together to increase every employee's understanding and knowledge of what that day means in the United States and means to so many people in our country. And the members of the BPR, the Black people at Rated group, were instrumental in educating the company and sharing with the company more information about this important holiday. And this is just one of many examples what role the employee resource groups play in creating an inclusive and diverse culture at Rated.
Is there anything else that you can share with us that Reddit does that makes Reddit a great place to work for millennials?
Like everything about our culture, have it be open, transparent, very conversational, to the range of benefits that we provide to our employees, whether they need to take time off to take care of a newborn or a child that's older, or a parent, or a pet, really adopted pet, to pet insurance, to using benefits to set up home office and get what you need to be productive. We've opened up all of our benefits and enabled our employees to get what they need so that they are as successful and as effective and as healthy and sane as they can possibly be. And provide a range of benefits to support a very diverse set of needs that our employees have. So I have no doubt that millennials who join Rated and stay at Rated take great pride and are able to leverage all of those resources and benefits in our culture to be thriving and to continue to learn and to continue to grow and be successful.
Thank you so much, Nellie. And thank you, Claire, for your work in studying Reddit and writing about it. We want to thank also all of our viewers. Thanks for watching this episode of Work in Progress. And again, we're here to help all of us get through this very challenging time. And not just get through it. We want to make progress toward our mission here at Great Place to Work, which is to build a better world through great places to work for all, everywhere. See you next time.